In today's video, I'm trying the Foxy Eye look because it looks fun, but also because it has a beautiful lifting effect, which as we're getting older is something we want. You can be subtle, but I went a little more dramatic on this look with defined lines or harsh lines. For a more subtle look, just blend out the outer lines inward for a more blended look. If you want to know how I did it, just keep watching. Now, a great tip I learned from a great YouTuber named Smitha, I will link her channel below, is to tie your hair up into a tight ponytail. This will instantly lift your eyes up, helping to defy gravity a little bit. This really does work, guys. Now let's zoom in for a closer look. Now with this look, the brows require specific grooming. No arch, short, more straight with a slight upward angle. Some people have actually shaved the tips of their brows to achieve this look, but that's not for me. You can use concealer to try to mask the ends. That's what I did. We'll begin by priming our lids. I'm using the MAC Paint Pot in soft ochre. Apply this all over your lid and then set with a loose powder. I'm using my fingers for this step, but you can definitely use a concealer brush. Make sure to get all over your lid and extended past your lid, if that makes sense, because we will be working in that area as well with shadows. To achieve the harsh lines, I used regular tape. You don't have to. You can achieve this look as well by applying concealer at the end, but I prefer working with tape. Some people don't like the harsh lines, and that's okay. I don't normally do this, but I wanted to step out of my comfort zone, and so happy I did. I really had fun putting this look together. Feel free to do what makes you comfortable, but take some risks sometimes. That's okay. It's only makeup. Make sure to align the tape with your bottom lashes. In other words, it should be an extension of your bottom lashes, meeting the tip end of your brow. That's if, of course, you didn't shave the tips off. Moving on to shadows. For this look, I'm working between two affordable palettes. The Maybelline Matte Bar in number 300, which has quite a few shades we can work with, and the Revolution palette in Rose Gold Chocolate, which also has perfect nude shades that we can work with. I used 3 different shades for the outer corner and crease, and 1 color for the lid. You can easily get away with using 2 shades by using a transition shade and a darker one, and 1 for your lid. Use a transition shade that's about half to 1 shade darker than your skin tone, a mid-tone, and a darker tone. I used matte colors for this look, except for the lid. I'm using a Morphe brush, and beginning with the transition shade, start applying it to the outer corner, moving upward and outward. I'm using the color Hard Edge. Keep working that color, or whatever color you're using, and start blending it inward toward your lash line, as if you were doing a winged liner with shadow. You don't have to be perfect for these steps because we will be blending all these colors together later. Now, if you're wondering how to hold your makeup brushes, the closer you are to the bristle, the more control you have, and that's great for applying product. The further you move down the handle towards the end of the brush, the less control you have, the lighter the application, and that's great for blending and buffing. I'm just trying a different brush, but still going in with that same color, Hard Edge, and going over what I did. And as with any beautiful eyeshadow look you're doing, it's important to keep blending and blending and blending. And when you think you've blended enough, you keep blending some more. Now, using a smaller pencil brush, it's more dense, we will go in with that mid-tone color from that rose gold palette. The color is Girl Boss, or again, whatever color you're using. And we will not only go over what we did with the previous color in that winged liner formation, but with whatever remains on the brush, we'll start applying it to the outer V of our eye and going into almost a third of your lid. Start bringing it in. And of course, we will keep blending to marry the two colors together. Keep adding color to deepen that mid-tone color, and you will notice that it's starting to take shape. If you have hooded eyes like I do, this is great so that when your eye is open, we can still see that winged liner effect. And as you can see, it's starting to take shape. We are getting that lifted effect, which is what we want. Now we are going to use the third and final color for that outer corner. I apologize, the first transition color we used was Gridlock and not Hard Edge. This deeper brown color is Hard Edge. Sorry about that. So going back with that Morphe brush, we're going to deposit that darker shade and go over that outer V and work it over the other colors. And once again, with our blending brush, blend all the colors together until it looks seamless. Wow, it's really popping. And now for the lid, we will go in with a light color. I'm using the rose gold palette for this. The color is Independent, and using a flat shadow brush, I will sweep it across my lid. And of course, you guessed it, blend those colors together to remove any harsh lines in between. Can you see how the eye looks very lifted? That's exactly what we're going for. I'm now using the e.l.f. gel liner in black with a small detailed lip/eyeliner brush, and we're going to create a thin wing liner starting from the center of the eye. Don't be afraid, it doesn't have to be perfect. We will be applying shadow over the liner. This part always makes me nervous. Take your time, you can do it. Now with a flat smudge brush, go back into that dark shadow you chose, in my case Hard Edge, and go over the liner, smoking it out as you go along, but not extending it too far outward. And now with your blending brush, blend all the colors together. And now we're going to go back into that light color that was independent from the Revolution palette. And we're just going to go underneath the brow bone for that added lifted effect. Notice the theme here? Lifted, elongated. This next step is completely optional. You can stop here, apply mascara, and call it a day. But I will continue by applying that gel liner in the inner corner with that same small detail brush, ever so slightly, but just enough. Notice the difference? Again, this step is optional. Feel free to leave it out. We've just taken it up to a whole other level by applying the liner in the inner corner. It further elongates the eye, giving it a beautiful almond shape. I decided to further define the crease. To do this, I'm going back into the Revolution palette, picking up some of that color you see there. It's the color 00, and applying this just to the crease with windshield wiper motions back and forth, and of course, blending it all together with a blending brush. And to complete the eye before moving on to mascara and falsies, we will be tight-lining the upper lash, and for this I will be using the Wet n Wild breakup proof, waterproof, retractable eyeliner, and I gotta say this is one of my favorites. It works really well and doesn't budge. I lied. One more step. We will highlight the inner corner by going back into that color, that highlight color independent, the same color we used for the brow bone. And there you have it, the final look, complete with falsies applied just to the outer corner and foundation. There are different variations to this look inspired by Bella Hadid, so feel free to have fun. As we mentioned, you can go subtle or dramatic. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.